Welcome back to Cold Front Convos, episode number 16, coming to you after a very disappointing and controversial AFC Championship game. The Chiefs outlasted the Bills 32-29. Handful of, and I'm positive you will hear it over the course of the next little stretch here, but a handful of plays determined by the referees that made a difference in the game. Personally, I could narrow it down to 3, but there were more. There are quite a few more, and just feel really bad. Actually, I feel bad more for Josh Allen and the types of performances he's put in the playoffs over the last 5 years to essentially have nothing to show for it, right? So
yeah. I mean, the one play I guess I got to bring up is that catch. You're talking about the plays that look like it. I just don't understand what a catch is. If it touches the ground, wouldn't that mean it's an incomplete pass?
Well, and there's no clear possession either. There's no clear possession by either receiver or DB. So you can't say that he had possession with the ball because in the air, the DB did, whether he snagged it away or not. He had one arm around it, barely around the ball.
Yeah, the issue with those rules is that anytime like the receiver has one hand on the ball, the DB could have two. It's going to go to the receiver because they always, tie goes to the receiver essentially in this. And
and the one picture though, his arm is around.
It touches
his arms
the ground,
around
but
the arm of the DB. It's not even around the ball.
Honestly, if they called it incomplete pass, it would have stood as an incomplete pass. That's the problem with the has to be completely indisputable. That's the problem. Once the call is made on the field and it's questionable, if it's not 100%, it's not getting overturned.
Yeah, but that's where it felt like it was just because there was no control and it touched the ground. So I just that's where I was really confused where they said that it was still a catch.
Right. No.
That's Bryant.
Exactly.
Johnson play.
Yeah.
It's that they had, if you say he had possession with that one hand, which, I mean, guys catch balls with one hand. He took it away from Bishop with one hand. That I get, 100%. However, if his hand's on top and the ball obviously it impacted the ground. It wasn't like just it brushed it or whatever. It impacted the ground. That's the Des Bryant, Calvin Johnson play.
Yeah.
So either those are wrong or this is wrong. You can't have it both ways.
Well, and he didn't even have, if you say he has control, he only had control of maybe a third of the ball, not even. So the other 2/3 of the ball was leaning up against his body and the other third on the ground. So
I thought it should be incomplete. I didn't think it should be a pick.
Correct.
No, it wasn't
Bishop
a pick.
had it in the air.
Which in the grand scheme of things, even if it was technically a pick, there was a flag anyway, if I remember correctly. I think they were offside.
It's just different than having the ball in the 3 or the 23, 25.
I mean, I actually really like the challenge by McDermott. Like at that point, it's like, what do you have to lose type of thing. So
you
kind of wish he had challenged. I actually wish I know they kind of reviewed the first down play anyway, which is I'm sure we're going to get to it on the QB sneak.
That's one of my three.
I honestly think he should have thrown the challenge on that one too. Like, I don't care if they're booth reviewing it anyway. Like, throw it again. Make them take a harder look at it. I mean, they had another one. Why not throw it again? I mean, I don't
understand.
I don't know. I don't know the law. I don't know
the
rules if it's been a booth review, if you can challenge it at that point. But first of all, I didn't like the play call to begin with at all. Yeah. Like, they obviously know that's coming. I mean, I know that it's been unstoppable, blah blah blah. But they stopped you already.
Multiple times too.
Which Jones was lined up off sides
every time.
Yeah.
He was jumping it. He jumping it really good, But it was just kind of one of those things. You have to have more in your playbook other than just that. I know they haven't. Nobody stopped it, but people were stopping it.
Well, why wasn't Mac Hollins and Ty Johnson back there if you're going to do it? If it's a play and play. Yeah. Why isn't Mac Hollins back there too?
I don't understand why they don't put number 70. Why don't they put a lineman behind him?
Yeah. You can put a lineman that's what Portnoy was saying. Like, he was like tweeting all night or, Facebook posting. He goes, why the hell are they not putting the two biggest guys behind Allen to push him forward? Blah, blah, blah. And
put Knox and 70 if you're going to put two guys.
Right. Do it. I mean, or Gilliam even. At least he's a fullback. He's right. He's a little tank of a guy.
You pay him for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, even like if you line up like that, you have to have some. I mean, I'm sure they're going to be putting something in the playbook at some point. A few different plays like off of this, but like to go
day late and $1 short.
Yeah. Right. But it's always next year. But like you go to like do it to do the fake. You line up like that in the big formation. You hurry up to the line. And I mean, I did see that he tried to draw them off sides a couple times, but they didn't bite. Mm-hmm. But you hike it and then you have the fake, or you do some kind of fake, where everyone's going to charge in. Now
just do a little quick pitch outside the backside or something. I don't know. Or a quick bootleg rollout like they did against us, like Baltimore did against us for the 2-point conversion. Same thing.
Yeah. Or they know you're going to go left guard, left tackle. Have Allen go right. Like,
go down the middle.
It's just go down the middle.
Yeah.
Go right. Have Spencer Brown crash.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, those are like the little adjustments in the sense, because, I mean, they were talking about it during the game. I can't remember. Evan Washburn was talking about it, or was it? I can't remember. It was a sideline reporter or Romo and Nance were talking about it, that they like game planned. Allen likes to go off the left side, like off the left guard. Yeah. So they're going to put their two best linemen over the left guard. And that's what they did. They put Jones and they put, I can't remember the other guy's name, right over the left guard.
They were blowing up.
Just went right out. And they were blowing them up. They were blowing up. Who's that? That's Osiris, right?
Torrance.
Yeah. Or no, he's
Torrance,
right. Torrance? Or
he's
Torrance, right guard. He's the right guard. It's, I can't remember his name, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. I like the aggressiveness. Don't get me wrong. I loved his aggressiveness. McDermott's aggressive because that's something that everyone has always gotten on him about not being aggressive, going for two. I don't think he needed to go for two a couple times. Like, one of the times I was like, I don't really think he needs to go for two early.
First one kicked early.
Yeah. Or
at least, the first time you did miss it. Second time, get the point.
Get the point. Yeah.
So, that's two. Right, that's the catch and the sneak for the first down,
Oliver.
Not the first down on the goal line or the touchdown goal line one, but the one where the replay shows it's a touch push situation. But in my opinion, the replay showed Josh getting over the line to gain. I thought it was funny too, and I put in the chat. Yeah. Romo draws the line on the screen. It says this is where he needed to be, and then you watch and like, oh shit, he passed it.
It's not like he's holding the ball back here behind him either. Like, he's holding it up as close as far as he can. Yeah, like, come on, give me a break. Yeah. It's terrible officiating and even terrible reviews.
McAfee and those guys were talking about it today, and I had to do almost a social media blackout.
Yeah,
today. I can't put up with. I had to block Mitchell's wife on Facebook. It was a whole thing, but it was who was a Chiefs fan, so Mitchell's judgment's not that strong. But
we were together before the Chiefs were good. They had Alex Smith still.
Like McAfee and them were talking about, this is what they're going to talk about is the Chiefs and the refs. This out of this game, it was a great game, blah blah blah. He's like, thought Allen had it initially. Then they did a replay, and I thought Allen had it then. And then they didn't overturn it, and then Kansas City turns that into points, which is, fair. They were way out of field goal range. It's not like you can even debate should they kick or should they not.
No, they couldn't have done it.
Yeah, it was. What was really frustrating about that whole sequence is watching the one official come in from the near side, show that be a yard short, and the guy from the far side coming in and being a yard over. Yeah, it's like, well, which one is it? You guys can't both have a yard off
different
on
spots.
Here.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Completely different spots.
Well, and the best part is the line of gain wasn't the 40. It was right just shy of the 40. So if you want to say the 40-yard line is the first down, you're wrong. And he clearly gets over that, just short of that.
So,
getting to that doesn't matter. I mean, Kincaid had the first down on the friggin'
There's
grass.
that was the other one. Yeah.
Yep.
Kincaid
They moved it back.
the
He
line.
definitely
He
had
the ball fell over the line, without his knees touching the ground.
There was several times throughout the game where that happened. There's probably at least 2 to 3 where they were landed on the line or just above it, and they moved them back before, and it was second down or third down.
Cook ran one. Mitch, you talked about it to me on the phone earlier, but Cook ran one for 11 yards, or it might have been a screen, like a toss. But he gets outside, gets 11 yards, and they marked it
and goes out of bounds.
short.
Out of bounds,
Yeah.
Yep, and he was clearly past the line.
Yeah. So just terrible from that regard. And the last one I wanted to mention was the holding penalties that weren't called on that huge punt return.
Yeah.
There was, I saw 3 personally from Twitter screenshots that were, now special teams you could pretty much call holding on
And
or
the whole
block
thing,
back on most. And then I understand. But when it's right next to the runner, the second guy after Dorian Williams made contact and missed gets yanked and spun around.
Yeah.
Cole Bishop next to him. Now this is already after the run's been like 25 yards. Cole Bishop, you can see the guy pulling Bishop from behind. You can see him around one side and around his hip pulling his shirt. And you're like, what are we doing? The fact that Dorian Williams even made the tackle, considering he made first contact and missed.
Yeah.
All the way great hustle play, I guess. But man,
well, even then,
just blatant stuff. Go ahead.
Ed Oliver on the Mahomes scramble for first down. There's a clear picture of it on Twitter or X. With his guy's arms right around. Yeah, the ref's standing right there.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable.
Watching the whole thing, but doesn't throw.
Even the Ed Oliver, they called him for offsides on the fumble, and that first fumble that Mahomes had that
Chris
they
Jones
recovered.
Almost identical.
That they recovered. Now it ended up being nothing because they ended up getting the fumble later down the road. But you're starting down at
30
where
yards
was
left.
that? Like you're 30, you're 30 versus their 30. You're 25 at that point. So yeah. I mean, I don't want to I'm definitely not at the point of saying that it's rigged or the NFL wants the Chiefs to win, but there are definitely some blatant calls. And to say it all, the Bills honestly could have still won the game with better play calling.
Yeah.
Why was James Cook not in the game on every single play in the second half?
He took himself out quite a few times, but I agree.
You saw him wave like I'm out about. Yeah.
But you come back in
But the last 3 series, he was only in there for 4 plays.
Nobody could stop. They could not stop him the entire game, and he wasn't.
No,
even
he was getting like 5-6 yards when he was running.
I mean, at one point he was averaging 8 or 10 yards. I sent the text that he was averaging 10 yards, and he was at one point. He was 66 for 61, and then he had he got stopped at 1 yard down by the goal line, and then he had the reach play.
Yeah,
I
agree. They should have featured him more. They featured him more in the third quarter when they ran 9 straight runs, drove all the way down the field and scored.
Yeah. And nothing against Ty Johnson because he had a couple decent runs in there too. But I don't know why we're pitching the ball to Ty Johnson. Why are we not just handing on that one play? Like, why are we not handing the ball off to Cook? Just hand it off to him, straight handoff.
Ty Johnson's played really well in the pass game. Get him outside in the swing sweep routes out of the backfield or a little zig.
Run him on a wheel.
Put both of them out there and run them both on wheels. What are we doing?
They're blitzing your ass off. Get Josh some relief on a short route in front of him.
Do you remember last year how many times Cook was open on wheel routes? Now, granted, he dropped 3 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns receiving last year. But I saw that a couple times this season, late in the season. I don't remember what it was like against Jacksonville or, first 6 games or whatever, but I saw it a couple times, but not once did they throw it. And on more than one occasion, the guys were open. And I feel like they got away from that type of play call. And they're more content with that quick swing that they throw to Shakir or that they throw to Knox for some reason. They did it against Baltimore. Remember, he got ball in the backfield.
Yeah, maybe because Kincaid is hurt.
They actually ran that play in last night too. They ran that play and they actually got yardage on it. But,
so they ran it 8 times last week. Ran it twice this week. Like include Shakir Moore in that game. I get that, but add Cook into that part of the mix too.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't know why we don't throw like fades down by the goal line either on first or second down. Like, I mean, I know you got Coleman and you got Cooper. You know, McDuffie's legit. You only threw one fade to Coleman when he has one-on-one with McDuffie. Like, why are we not trying to do that to Cooper? Cooper's the big receiver. You know, I mean, he's not as tall as Coleman, but I don't know.
I talked to Mitch about this earlier, and I agree with you, Goose. I think you have Coleman to catch fades on the goal. Like Coleman's 6'3", he's tall, he's long. I agree. And I said this to Mitch. McDuffie's definitely a lockdown guy, right? He was second team All-Pro. But you're just physical traits. He's 3 inches or 4 inches shorter than Coleman. His reach is another 3 or 4 inches less. So if you can get a ball 10 inches above McDuffie's reach, if Coleman can jump, you know what I mean, if he has the capability of getting in the air, he's going to catch it. Problem was, on that fade, they only ran it once, like you said. It entirely rests upon Coleman getting an outside release or an inside. He can't be straight. He can't keep McDuffie in front of him. If he has to jump through McDuffie, number one, he doesn't get high enough, and he'll never make it to the ball. But if you get inside release, you're going to catch it anyways because McDuffie doesn't have a play to the ball. If you get an outside release, you just need the ball to be high enough for him to essentially out-jump him. That's all you're trying to do. DeAndre Hopkins did it for years in Tennessee. And we did it against Seattle. Remember, the first time Josh didn't throw it high enough, it got broken up. And then the second time, Coleman caught it one-handed. Like, it's a good play to have in the playbook. It shouldn't have happened on third down. And Coleman didn't get a good enough release on the ball. He got jammed and couldn't get off the coverage. So that he didn't even...
I just personally haven't seen us run it enough times where it's been successful to be able to be in our playbook in that period of time.
I get you. It's because Cook and Allen have 30 rushing yards combined, or 30 rushing TDs combined.
All right, so make that work.
I don't disagree. I think they should have been running Cook twice on the first 2 plays instead of what they did. Or you do something like they used to do with if
hit him with the play action and then run it.
Don't do it, but you get somebody running along the back line.
Yeah.
You get somebody who starts left side or starts right side, goes left, and then comes back across the back line. This probably doesn't look good for a camera, but how many times do we used to see Allen hit somebody in the back edge?
Mostly Knox. Yeah. That was Knox's play.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Kincaid, and this has nothing to do with the catch in the end. I mean, a little bit, but it doesn't weigh more so than anything else he's done this year or hasn't done this year. As far as I'm concerned, he's not the pick he is. He is not produced. I'm not hopeful to him being extended in Buffalo.
Well, they said that he was playing with like a torn PCL, right?
I understand that, but then why is he out there? You have Quentin Morris to cover Dawson Knox's spot and then move Dawson Knox into Kincaid's routes. Like that makes zero sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think. I mean, Kincaid wasn't really involved in our offense very much at all this season.
He had a couple good catches last night. I mean, that one and a couple good routes last night. I mean, that one, that's a tough catch coming back to the ball. And,
I can't.
Yeah, that's a tough catch.
That's just I don't completely hold that against him. Like that was it hit him in the arm, so he should have caught it. But
that was a wobbler too.
That it was.
He knows that they even get the first down anyway if he catches it because he was kind of coming back.
No, he was
that was the field goal line that they were showing.
Yeah, he was about 10 yards ahead of the line.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it's thrown into coverage, 3 guys around him. Probably somebody usually tips that or hits it, and whatever it is, what it is. But I don't see him being the pick that he was. I don't see him having a bright future in Buffalo, being outside of his contract. I don't think it's going to be extended.
If he could stay healthy, maybe, but he hasn't over 2 years. He's been hurt. I don't know how many games he's actually played in. It might be more than half, but I feel like he's been dinged up or hurt at least half of his time.
Yeah.
I mean, his rookie year, he had the second most catches ever by a rookie tight end. So, like, we can't. The guy can play. He was only behind Laporta. So
different offense.
it was Joe Brady. He was a rookie last year.
Dorsey
No.
for the first
Half the year and then half
Dorsey.
the year. So, I mean, it was only last season, but he still missed games last year too. Or
Yeah,
he
he
was
did.
dinged up because I remember he had an arm thing. I want to say last year, a shoulder.
Yeah, he was
But
in and out.
I don't think he's a bust, but I don't think he's first round talent. I would agree with you, Mitch. I don't think he's living up to the fact that of what he is. He had 70 something catches, I want to say, last year. Maybe high
that
60s.
was I mean, obviously he was hurt a lot of the, what he missed, like 5 games this year or something?
At least.
4 or
And if he
5?
played on a torn PCL, he did that, would have been what, like week 11? Because he was
No,
out
it
there.
said it said the last 2 games.
Yeah,
That's what the article
he
says.
missed the week before the Chiefs game, and then the next 2, because I don't think he was in the Detroit game either, was he? Or the
No, he
Rams?
missed- I think he was out for about 4 weeks.
I say he missed 3 or 4 in that
Yeah.
stretch, and then he sat against New England at the end of the season. So I mean, that's 5 games right there without even blinking. And if he came back from the
He had
PCL,
44 receptions last year.
how much?
44 receptions last year.
Maybe that was. I'm sorry. That was still the second most ever for a tight end, where he was on track for the second most ever for a rookie tight end behind Laporta. Is this his third year or second year?
This is second.
This is second.
So well, you know what though? A rookie with 44 catches from a tight end spot, and last year they went run heavy for the entire back half of the year. I'm not mad at it. You
I
expect
think he'll be a decent tight end, but we drafted him thinking he was going to be Kelsey. And you can't replicate Kelsey, but I don't think he's ever going to be that.
No, I don't think so either. I'm sitting here on my soapbox defending him. He's what, 23, 24? He's still growing. You know what I mean? He's still getting feel for the league.
Yeah, I mean,
still getting bigger.
And
I'm sorry.
You still have 2 years. Still have 2 years left on a rookie deal too. So, which is huge before you have to extend him.
So I'm
Or you
sorry.
have to extend.
I was on ESPN and it pulled up the
This
raw
year?
stats. So he played in 23, 73 receptions.
There you go. 70
Yeah,
something
that's-
catches last year.
Yeah.
So
91 targets, 73 receptions, 673 yards.
So that's a hell of a season out of a rookie. If Coleman had that this year, we'd be going, holy shit, So it is what it is. I think he's better than what he's performed, and if he's been hobbled, his thing is separation, right? He's not a big body possession guy. He's not what Kelsey is now, or Gates, or one of those types of Gonzalez, one of those types of tight ends. He's supposed to be a shifty tight end that's faster and more athletic than linebackers. And if he's hobbled, then he's not going to get it done. That being said, I agree with Mitch. If he's not going to be 100%, he's not going to get you open, then don't fucking play him.
Yeah. Well, what do they got to do next year? Like, what do they got to do in the offseason? Like, what are we thinking? I mean, pass rusher.
Speaking of
back, obviously.
Got to get
I
rid
get
of
the list
Von.
here. They're free agents here. Ty Johnson.
Okay, raise your hand if they should be re-signed. We'll do that.
Yeah. All right. Ty
Ty
Johnson.
Yeah,
I
I'd
mean,
say Ty.
I think Ray Davis. You got money to use
it-
elsewhere.
Right.
You got Ray
I'm
Davis.
kind of like, if you can get him for like $1 million, like I don't know what his contract is right now. Like, if you can get him for really cheap, bring him back. Otherwise, like, you got Ray Davis and you got Cook. So
Well, you're going to have to re-sign Cook, though. Go ahead.
you have to resign
Yeah,
Cook.
you got to
for sure.
resign Cook. You're talking $20 million a year.
He's not going to get $20 million a year.
No.
Reggie,
Reggie-
like 4 for 65, 4 for 70, like a 50.
You're gonna have, if
million?
you give him the Saquon
18
Barkley deal, he's
18
going to
million.
take that. He's going to take the Saquon Barkley deal.
Reggie Gilliam.
He's a low number. I don't
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not-
He's going to be super low, so you probably sign him.
Amari Cooper. I say let him walk.
No, let him go.
Again, it probably depends on the number, but there are probably better
Better
wide
options out
receiver
there.
options.
Yeah, maybe a 1-year deal and you let Samuel walk on his contract. Matt Collins.
I say re-sign him.
I think you
I'd
have to
resign.
bring Matt Collins back. He's
Yeah.
a big character guy. Yeah.
hell of a catch in that
That
game.
was unbelievable.
Well, two of them, but the touchdown.
The
Yeah, he had two
touchdown
great-
was-
And I said Gabe Davis asked before even Tony Romo. Tommy Doyle, Quentin Jefferson,
No.
Jordan Phillips.
So plays
I-
amazing
I-
in the belt.
He
He
plays
played
great
really
with the
well.
Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said
plays
he'd
great
only
with
come
the
back
Bills.
for the Bills too.
He plays great. Yeah, just sometimes he gets dinged up and whatnot. But I mean, I'd bring him back. I mean, sure, you
But for
can
the money,
find him.
he's a big boy up front and he plays hard.
Yeah.
So, Smoot.
He didn't play half the season, right? He was hurt.
Yeah,
a
he's
lot.
hurt.
He was hurt.
He was hurt.
I saw him creating a lot of havoc in the backfield and stuff, but he did get hosted on the one RPO that Mahomes scored on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he went in heavy. Yeah.
Russell Douglas.
Yeah.
Douglas.
Top. I mean,
I think you have to. They're going to have to draft another.
They're
I was
gonna
going
have
to
to,
bring
quarterback.
someone in. If you're not drafting like a first round corner, which is still viable at the end of the first round for a 30th overall pick or whatever. If you're not drafting a corner first round, I think you got to keep him.
and there are
Unless
some
you're- unless
there
you're
are some
trading up some
decent
draft
corners.
capital to
There are
get
some
somebody.
decent corners. There are some decent corners in this draft.
Yeah.
Damar Hamlin. Let him walk.
Yeah. Hell, I'm on.
I mean, you could probably get him for cheap. Honestly, I mean,
He wants to go to Pittsburgh anyways.
Yeah, he does. He wants to go to Pittsburgh. He said.
Reed Ferguson.
Yeah, keep. He's a
He'll
line.
keep him. Yeah.
Quinn Morris.
I could take
Yeah.
Reed Morris, to be honest with you.
Probably. Yeah, it doesn't really
Special
matter.
teamer, really, more than anything.
Ryan Vandermark.
They just re-signed
they-
Denmark.
Did they sign
did
him?
really?
Oh, okay. Yeah, this was from 7 hours ago.
Yeah, I got a text from Bills, whatever. Maybe it wasn't Vandermark. No, it was a 3 last name. That's the only guy I can think of. The offensive line.
And then Alec Anderson. Or Alex
Anderson re-signed. That's 70, right?
Yeah.
He's the one that's constantly pulling. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
he's the one
I
reporting
he's
eligible.
the
Yeah.
eligible. Although he did get called like 3 times yesterday for not
Twice.
reporting.
And once wasn't his
Twice.
fault.
Oh, once
Yeah.
was Holland's
Once
fault
was
for
not
riding.
reporting. Once was he was
Yeah.
covered. The
Yeah.
covered one
Oh,
was
the
Matt
cover.
Hollins,
Right. Yeah, Hollins.
which ended up being declined anyways, right?
Yeah.
For something
Yeah.
else.
Oh, and Austin Johnson.
What's
Oh,
Austin
that's-
Johnson? Is he a defensive tackle?
I think he's a defensive lineman.
What is Cook? Do we have to sign Cook this year, or is it a?
This is the last year. That'll be last year of this contract.
But you don't have to actually do anything this year.
I think we can.
You can do it next
We
year.
can extend him.
We have a 5th-year option.
No,
No.
you don't get a 5th-year
No.
option because he wasn't a first-round pick.
Yeah.
He's a second round or third. Was he a third?
He's third. Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Yeah. He was third.
I think you got to keep him.
Oh, you
I'm-
definitely got to
yeah.
keep him.
I'm okay with spending 15. I mean, it's not my money. I have no idea what the cap situation is, but I'm okay with that 15 to 17 million range. I know it's a lot.
But
Well,
the issue is that they're probably going to renegotiate Allen's contract too, and
Yeah.
Allen is going to get a big pay raise too.
But they'll
Yeah, but
they'll
they
throw a
extend
bunch
it
of money
out.
down the road
So-
from him.
yeah.
Like they'll
just
make
keep
a
kicking the
9-year
can.
deal. He'll make 70 million in 2020, 2041.
Yeah.
James Cook will make $5 million. He's going to have a base hit of or cap at 5.4 million next year. He'll be an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah, they got to re-sign him though. I think he's too good and too integral to our offense.
Yeah.
The way we run it under Brady. We know Brady's coming back next year.
I don't think he's going to have the same year as he did this year on the amount of touchdowns. But I, think
that
he'll
would be
still
that'd
be.
be crazy.
he'd get
That'd
more
be
yards,
crazy
though.
too.
I think they'll use him a lot more in the run game. But I don't know. Ray Davis has had a good year for a rookie, so it's a very 1-2 punch backfield, which is nice.
If you're not going to re-sign Johnson, then you got Davis and Cook. Well, Cook 1, Davis 2, and then you
Yeah.
find another guy to be
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
you
third
draft
guy.
a running
You
back
probably
in the
find
fourth,
a
fifth
draft.
round.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I mean, Josh Allen has been ringing the Ray Davis, or excuse me, the Ty Johnson bell all season, talking about how he's
Yeah.
the best third down back in football.
Yeah. But he did he talks about all the guys like that.
Yeah, but
I mean, he used to do that with Gabe Davis, and Gabe Davis, they didn't bring back.
there was a stretch where Gabe Davis was great.
Yeah.
Or
Hey, Gabe Davis got paid in Jacksonville, so
Yeah.
And
Buffalo was never going to pay him that much, anyways.
So, I mean,
What about Von Miller? You guys think they're gonna
let him walk?
Let him walk.
And
there's like
interestingly
$18 million they get if they let him go, right?
I think this is Buffalo's biggest need is defensive end. That's the rushers. Even Greg Rousseau, this is probably one of his worst games this year.
Yeah. Well, Von Miller didn't even get a tackle this game.
He plays their defensive line plays so different at home versus away. Like, they have no pass rush when they're out of away games. Like, zero.
They stopped the run pretty well, but I feel like that's all they did. That's all they did.
Yeah.
And even then, like the run,
they got
they
3
still
sacks.
had some big runs.
They got 3 sacks, but that was Mahomes holding the ball, and they were able to collapse the pocket around him, as opposed like all 4 guys pretty much won one-on-ones.
Yeah.
Or when Phillips or Oliver blew up the center of it and made it that way.
Yeah, but otherwise they weren't keeping Mahomes contained at all. Like,
he was running all over
it was so different. I mean, it was so different from the first game, because the first game they were rushing, but they were keeping contained and they weren't letting him get out. And obviously they had Benford in playing that game, so it was a little bit better coverage wise versus.
Benford, man, I'm telling you, the guy, he's so much better than his name, the notoriety around his name. And as soon as he went out, I was just.
Yeah,
I was like, this makes
Tony Romo was saying it on TV. He was like, "This is bad. Like, this is the worst case scenario for Buffalo."
Yeah.
Like,
of all the guys in the defense, the only one more important is Bernard.
Yeah,
and Benford reminds me of a Tre'Davious White just getting to where, like, he was really good before he tore his Achilles.
He's not as fast as Tre'Davious, though, right? Tre'Davious was actually really fast.
I think his coverage. His coverage is better.
Yeah. He looked like he didn't even know where he was.
Well, he was lost.
So I don't even know if he should have been coming back from that first concussion.
Well, they
never really officially cleared. I didn't see anything.
Go ahead, sorry.
Also, I just didn't see anything. Nothing. I didn't get any info on Twitter or anything saying that he cleared concussion protocol.
Yeah, I mean, he passed the protocol Saturday, apparently. But it's an independent, you know what I mean? So you can't even say the Bills forced him.
Yeah.
It's independent. But at the same time, I was talking to my daughters, to Aubrey and Addison. They were asking about the Guardian caps. And I said, all the Bills players on defense in the secondary and the linebackers should wear the Guardian caps, with the way that Rapp and Hamlin fly around. And Taron Johnson, for that matter.
Their own players cause it more often
That's
than
how
not.
Bedford got hurt.
Yeah, Hamlin did it.
Hamlin
did it, yeah.
And then the week when Rapp got hurt and hurt his hip, not only did he hurt his own hip on that tackle, but he also smoked Taron Johnson on the same play.
Yeah.
Johnson didn't get hurt out, but he was wobbly for a second too.
Yeah, they lower their heads and throw their bodies. Well,
those Guardian caps really don't do much
18
protection.
miles an hour. No,
I mean, it's got to be more than nothing now.
Right,
Yeah.
it helps.
And
It's not
Bedford
plastic,
got
at
hit
least,
like
or
side
whatever
of
it
the
is.
head by the side of
Correct.
Rapp's head or Hamlin's
I
head.
thought
Excuse me.
I thought he broke his collarbone or something. The way they were holding a towel on him on the cart and everything, like.
Oh, he was on the cart like this.
Yeah.
They had him buckled in.
Yeah, he was. Yep.
He didn't know where he was.
Yeah, he was dizzy.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole game changed defensely after that, though.
yeah.
I mean, we couldn't stop anything.
Elam. Goodbye, Elam. I cut him today. Why isn't he gone?
Yeah, he looked
Why?
so bad.
I mean,
His cap
there's a lot of
his
healthy
cap hit is
scratches.
nothing.
There's a lot of healthy scratches, for him too. Like during the year, like he wasn't playing for the first half of the year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't even playing.
He got scratched in 6 of the first 8 games.
Yeah.
And supposedly he's a man corner. Like he plays man coverage.
Yeah.
That's his system. And he played a lot of man. And
He
He still got smoked.
That's all they were playing last night. That's all they played last night. I mean, they played a few
soft zones
here and there. I mean, but that's
the
when
majority
Kelsey
was man
ended up
coverage.
getting- he got like his 2 catches that he got was off zone coverage. Otherwise, he didn't. What did Kelsey have? Like 2 catches last night?
2 for
3?
14. They took Kelsey and Hollywood Brown pretty much out of the game plan.
Yeah, Holly Brown had a few key catches
Or
though.
Hopkins,
Like they
excuse me,
were
not Hollywood Brown.
Hopkins was completely out of
They
the
took
game.
those 2 completely out, which are one of their 2 most dangerous players in Kelsey because of how smart he is. Now, he's not going to beat everybody in a foot race, but you've seen him somehow wiggle away from people and get an extra 5-10 yards because he's so big. But they take him right out of the game plan when they had Benford in, and they take Hopkins out of the game plan, so that really left Worthy and Hollywood Brown to beat them. And then Benford goes out, and you're like, well, there goes the neighborhood. Because now you couldn't stop either Worthy or Hollywood Brown. You had to pick your poison. Even Elam is a man corner, like Mitch said. They say he's a man cover guy.
Yeah.
He got roasted on the pick incomplete play. Schuster just ran a straight crossing route.
Yeah.
And Elam got his feet tangled on air and hit the ground.
How many catches has Schuster had all year for the frickin' Chiefs?
Yeah.
And for how many yards? He probably had more yards in that game than he's had all year long in any game.
I believe it. Elam was he needs to go.
Trash.
I was surprised they didn't have Ingram in there instead, but they've been playing Ingram at safety instead of corner. So
who said put Taron Johnson in there, put Cam Lewis in, play the nickel. Yeah.
You could do that too. I think that's a better move anyways. But I think Johnson was covering Kelsey.
He was on Kelsey quite a bit. Yeah, he was on Kelsey quite a bit.
So,
which I understand, but he also shaded Milano, but then Milano was kind of playing spy, but not playing spy because he was getting beat on. Yeah, Rousseau got 4 times. I think he overcommitted on a play action, and it ended up costing us. It's very frustrating.
Yeah,
as I said earlier before we got on, it's on the golf season.
Yeah,
the
stuff that
not even watching it.
The stuff that gets me is like the whole Allen thought process. Josh can't beat Patrick Mahomes, that kind of thing. And then they say, well, he's great in the wild card, but he's not as good in the division, in the divisional or that kind of things. And I saw the breakdown today on Twitter, and it was against Mahomes, 0-4, obviously, against everyone else is 7-2. So he's a 7-6 in the playoffs guy. That being said, against Mahomes or Chiefs, he's got more yards passing. He's got
his stats are all better
rushing. He's got better touchdown and interception ratio and a better passer rating
and more touchdowns.
Yeah, 11 touchdowns and 1 pick against the Chiefs.
And Mahomes has 9. Yeah,
it's and 9 and he's 20-1 touchdown to interception, or 22-1 now. Excuse me, touchdown interception ratio.
Although he should have had 2 picks.
Should have had 2 last.
He should have had.
Well, one.
Well, the one wouldn't have happened if the other.
I mean, 2 of them were on the same series or whatever.
Yeah,
it was just.
This game, he started off like just not right.
He didn't puke enough.
I didn't like the play calling in that first series. I mean, they should have ran the ball a little bit more. I mean, I think they only had one run with Cook, and I think he went for 6-7 yards.
Yeah,
but then all the other plays were all pass plays.
What was the one play that he went and threw to Shakir that was over almost picked off, right over the middle?
Well, they said he was.
That was a throwaway.
I mean,
but he could have thrown it higher.
Yeah.
But if he threw it higher, it would have been intercepted the guy behind. The safety was over top too.
Yeah, there was safety over top.
I was thinking the same thing. I was just kind of bomb it. Like, why don't you just bomb it?
There was the one play or whatever, which is kind of. I mean, it's crazy that he could see that the flag got thrown. Like there was a hold on.
Yeah.
He just threw it, and Andy was just kind of watching in the kitchen, like doing something. And was like, "What is he doing? Like just throwing it?" Blah, blah, blah.
That's what I said too. I was like, "What are you doing?"
He saw the flag.
Yeah,
because I saw him point. You saw him point, and then he just threw it up, and you're like, "What?"
Last play of the game too, though. There was a flag, and they didn't just say what it was.
There was no flag on the field.
Well, no, it was picked up. No, there was thrown. It was picked up. But they never said what the play would have been, what the flag would have been called for.
Yeah, I saw
because the game was over.
I saw a fan video that showed the flag on the ground in the game, because and then obviously the conspiracy theory is it was a play if Knox caught it or Kincaid catches it, that whatever. So sucked, game sucked. I was mad the rest of the night.
As Adam said, I hate football. I hate football. I hate football.
I hate football every week.
Yeah.
And Mitchell said, I'm in golf season. I watched the TGL today. That was fun. I ordered a Juniper Links hat. Or Jupiter Links, excuse me.
Jupiter, nice. Yeah, of course.
It's on sale for $24. So that was a win. So, yeah.
As you can see, all the Buffalo Bills stuff on my wall's down.
Oh man,
You took it down, huh?
You took it
I took it down.
Didn't even waste any time.
I'm angry. I'm angry. It's all coming down.
It deserves to be on the wall.
Nope.
Well, I got on my Sabres. We don't have palm trees in Buffalo hoodie for the podcast today. I did want to share some knowledge from my son James that he dropped on Felicia a little while ago.
Oh,
He said to Felicia, "You don't know where my brain is." So she tapped him on the head and he goes, "No." And he said, "It's right here," and he pointed to his wiener. And she said, "No, that's your weenus." And so he said, "No," and he pointed to his balls. And she goes, "James, those are your balls." And he just started laughing hysterically.
Oh, this just changed to rated R. Now you're gonna get flagged for
Weenus and balls.
too much weenus and balls.
It's kind of funny. Bexton will go, "We're going to watch the Buffalo Bills." And he adds like an L before like the U. And Andy and I are sitting there and go, "No, it's Buffalo Bills." He goes, "Yeah, that's what I said." And it's like, "No, you," and he goes, "Yeah, the Buffalo Bills." So like, "No, you're saying Buffalo. It's Buffalo Bills." He goes, "Yeah, that's what I said." I'm like,
It keeps going back and forth.
no
Repeat
problem,
and
buddy.
repeat. That's right. Vince calls all football buffaloes. So, are we gonna
Nice.
play the buffalo, Dad? You want to play the buffalo? Hey, buddy, it's called a football. So you want to play catch? Play the buffalo.
So who do you? The line's what? Kansas City by 1.5. I know Mitchell.
I'm boycotting. I'm not picking. I'm not picking.
Well,
Yeah,
by the way,
good.
whenever if Mitchell's not picking, then Alex is locked up second place for the year.
I'm boycotting this all.
I've
This is my last episode, guys.
Will you not be
So I got
watching the
first,
game there,
Alex
Mitch?
took second, Mitch got third, Goose took fourth in the pick'ems. I'll get a trophy or a fake
If you're not first, you're last.
crown on my head.
Big boycott.
It's a big ass X. All right. Well, I'm not gonna watch Super Bowl. I don't care.
Hope this goes
Boycott it.
viral.
Yeah.
Boycott that shit.
Yeah, they don't.
Nobody wants to watch it.
Those 4 idiots aren't gonna make
I'll
all the
watch it.
difference. Goose will watch it.
There's a
I'll watch
petition
it,
going on.
and I'll make
Change.org.
pickup. I'll do it.
Change.org. It's got like 60 or 70,000 signatures on it.
I do believe we are going to be seeing a three-peat for the first time in history.
Cheat-Peat. That's what I said.
Yeah, the Cheat-Peat.
Cheat-Peat.
I'm curious if Cook can get as many yards as he did. Maybe the focal point with Saquon means that they can. I mean, the guy's electric. You saw him take that first play to the house.
Yeah. I'm interested because I think, there's no defensive coordinator that's better at game planning to figure out what to stop you, than Steve Spagnuolo. Four or three Super Bowl championships, one with the Giants and two with the Chiefs. He knows what he's doing, so he's going to figure out a way to stop Saquon Barkley.
I would agree with you.
And their corners are good enough to go one-on-one with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So
That's why
they're going to put McDuffie. They're going to have McDuffie one-on-one by himself with A.J. Brown.
Sure.
A.J. Brown.
And I'll take A.J. Brown.
Well, I would take Devontae Smith.
Jalen
and
Hurts
Jalen
is
Goddard.
awful against the blitz. Jalen Hurts is awful against the blitz. You know who blitzes more than anybody? Steve Spagnuolo.
The only concern I really have about that is that Jalen Hurts is playing hurt. So
Yeah.
I think if Saquon gets going, I think it'll be a possession game, like a clock control type of game. But I can picture Saquon getting 130 yards rushing this game, and them winning like a 27-21, 24-17 type of thing, because I think Phil's defense is decent.
28-24 Philadelphia.
I can see it.
Thought you weren't picking.
Yeah.
But you weren't picking.
Is that a pick?
I'll pick Philly and you lock up second.
I'm not picking. Rewind that. I swore. Rewind it.
All right, let's.
But I'm actually going to take Saquon on the under on the rushing in the Super Bowl. Probably lose.
Over under what?
I don't know what the over under is. They probably haven't came out.
Well,
with
no.
it, but,
What's your over under? It's out there. I don't know what it is, but you're gonna take
I
on
mean,
the under.
I think his over under for this past week was like 110.
No, it was like 130.
Oh, okay. It was a lot. I remember. I mean, he obviously got the over, but I'd be taking.
Yeah, they set the line though. I'm on it right now. Chiefs and Eagles, same game.
It's at 1.5 for that.
That's
Super Bowl.
crazy. That is a Saquon 112.5 is his over under.
I'll take the under.
Rushing. Oh, sorry. It was probably 130 last week for the rushing and receiving, which is 145 right now. He averages at a lot.
I'd take over
150 is
112.
the number. I'd take over 112 too.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
rushing?
the guy can. I'm not saying that he will break a 70-yard run or a 50-yard run, but he can do it literally at any time and outrun everybody.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like some of these
Considering-
other guys who can get a 25-yarder, but they're getting caught from the side or behind literally every time.
Minus, I think it was 180 or 170 for 110.
Taking the over. Or taking
Yeah, I'll
the
take
under.
the over. I'll take the over 110.
You know what? You know what's funny? I golfed on Sunday in the garage, and Jordan Parks came over, and he was like, "Adam, let's put money on Saquon to get 2 rushing touchdowns, Jalen Hurts to get 2 rushing touchdowns, and he said somebody else, and it was the other receiver or other running back from Kansas City. I'm sorry, not Kansas City.
Brian Robinson Jr.
No, the other guy. He scored 2. Shipley. Will Shipley?
Oh, shit. Yeah, he did.
He was like, "Let's do this." He like put it like it was $1 to win like 130 because of Shipley's thing and the two pluses. And I was like, "Yeah, kill it. Throw in 10. I'll throw you half." And he never did it. He never clicked, do it or whatever. So it would have been $1,300 if that had hit to split, but he just never clicked.
Yeah.
I know. Jack
If Noah Gray would have got 25 yards passing last night, I would have won 1,200.
receiving,
Yeah, that's what I meant.
throwing it like crazy on
He
you.
didn't have any. Or he
Nothing,
He had a
nothing.
touchdown. No, he didn't. He
No,
didn't
he
have
didn't.
that touchdown.
Watson did.
That was the third one. Yeah.
Noah Gray's been a Buffalo killer. Like in the past, he's always, when they shut down Kelsey, Noah Gray was always there for that 20, 30 yards receiving, 40 yards receiving that always killed Buffalo on a long third down.
Yeah, he was that found the weak spot in the zone because we were covering Kelsey and everyone else.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, on to the bigger and brighter futures.
Yep. Let's go movie this week. Let's see, Mitch, why don't you do your movie review first?
Remember the Titans, right?
Mm-hmm.
5,280 feet. How many feet in air mile? Out of revenge for scoring my last movie so low, I'm gonna have to give this like a 2 point. No, I'm just kidding. It's Remember the Titans. I mean, it's iconic. It's classic at this point. One of the best movies ever made. I mean, I think Goose is just trying to get his name up on the board. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5 because it's Remember the Titans.
Gotcha.
I've seen it
I had Christmas Vacation.
a million bajillion. Yeah, but yeah. Remember the Titans is way better than Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, I mean, Remember the Titans is a great movie.
It's
You
one of
can
the best
watch
sports
that,
movies of all time.
whenever you want.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was trying to get the boys to watch it a little bit, and when they first go to the football camp, and he's yelling at the kids, and Owen's like, "Why is he yelling at him?" I was like, "Telling him what to do." He's like, "Well, that's rude." That's like, I was like, "All right, well, maybe one
I would
day I'll figure it
I
out."
would say how much fun you're gonna have this season.
It'd be
But,
crazy if one was like, "Why are they integrated?" Like,
But yeah, I mean, great movie. Put it on, you're just gonna watch it whenever. But I'll get that like a 8.7.
all right. Well, like you guys both said, it's a staple, right? You talk about inspirational movies, you talk about sports movies, you talk about just like that and it hit us all, I think, all kind of the perfect time growing up too. We were all kind of in sports and all that kind of stuff too. So, I mean, Waters for the week, and I'll give it an 8.2 just to round it out. But it's such an easy watch. And
strong side.
What's his face? Ryan Gosling was an absolute liability at cornerback.
He was a liability.
Linebacker.
Linebacker, yeah.
Linebacker,
Yeah.
It's too worried about writing letters and shit. So
what do you got for it?
I'll go with a 8.7.
We definitely have a new number one. Goose cheats. 8 points.
just like the Chiefs. Cheat-Peat.
Crap. 35. 8.5. New leader. Yeah. I mean, I could go and say Gladiator now, I guess, just to try to get above, or The Departed, maybe. You know what I mean? I could name
That Brothers.
Avatar.
Which musical, Disney musical, are we watching?
So, strangely enough,
Land Before Time.
Moana 2. No, I had two.
I'm not dropping $50 to watch this movie. I'm gonna take the family to the movie theaters.
I had two in the chamber for this one. One had music, one doesn't. I'm gonna go with Mitchell picked a Miles Teller Tom Cruise movie earlier, so I'm gonna pick one that's probably not gonna make the top 10. I need to swing us back.
The boxing movie?
No, actually, oh man, Southpaw would be a great one
Man, that's a good movie.
with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was gonna go Footloose.
You know, I don't know if I've ever seen
Which
The
Footloose,
original
though?
or the new one?
The original or the new one?
The new one. The two I had in my head were the new Roadhouse and the new Footloose.
So the new Roadhouse I've seen is actually pretty decent.
I've never seen
The
it.
new
I've never
Footloose,
seen either one.
I hadn't any of that.
The
I
new
haven't
Footloose
seen-
I haven't seen.
I
I've
saw
seen
the new
I've ever seen.
Footloose. I hadn't seen the new Roadhouse yet.
Alex, have you
Do you know
seen
what it's on?
either one?
I've not seen the new Footloose or the new
All right,
Roadhouse.
folks, we got
No.
a double feature. We got a double feature. We're watching both of them.
Well, we got 2 weeks. We're not going to talk next week. So let's do two. Let's put us down for that. The new Roadhouse and the new Footloose.
All right.
Roadhouse.
Well, that's good that we're not talking next week, because I wouldn't have been able to be on next week anyway. So
We're talking next week. Crazy. No, we'll get back together the 10th and do this again. It'll be after the Super Bowl that no one's watching.
I'll be watching. I'll tell you guys how it is.
Yeah, you tell us how it is, Goose. We'll give you,
You
give you
give
8 minutes out of the gate to run us down. I know that the new Roadhouse is on Amazon Prime. I do not know where Footloose is, but I'm sure we can figure it out, even if it's a password share situation. Get off my back, Netflix.
Oh shit! Sorry, the Syracuse football schedule just came out. Ready?
Yeah.
To hop in here, just dropped. Playing UConn at home September 6th. They're playing Tennessee first, actual on a neutral site August 30th. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Playing Colgate at home.
2-1.
At Clemson.
2-2.
Duke at home.
2-3.
At SMU.
2-4.
Pitt at home.
2-5.
At Georgia Tech.
2-6.
North Carolina at home.
2-7.
Miami away.
Miami
University.
2-8.
University Miami. At Notre Dame.
2-9.
and the year at Boston College at home.
3-9, maybe.
All right, we got to end this call. I got to go raise rates.
3's what I got. 3's what I got. 9's what I wanted. I hope you guys have a.
Well, speaking of raising rates, Adam, did you get the insurance thing figured out?
No. Nope.
All right.
Our insurance lady talked to us. She said she'd call us back. She never called us back. And then because of the claim in the basement, the other people one of the other agents we reached out to said couldn't find us anybody because we had a claim over $5,000 in the last 3 years.
But you
Or
only
5
got
years.
paid
5 years.
$5,000. You only got paid $5,000.
That's what I said. I said it was 5,000. She's like, well, it's 5,000 or more. Okay. Whatever. I'm waiting on the woman to call me back. She said that it's, she said number one, so I got my new house. I was going to call you about it, actually, Mitch. I got our new homeowner's insurance went up $1,200 this year, and it went up $600 last year, and it went up $400 year before. So in the last 2 years, It's gone up $2,000 to a total of $4,200. So it's doubled over the last 3 years. And I know inflation, et cetera. But we had a 10% discount that fell off for some reason. So she's going to get that back on. She had said on the call. So that's $400 right off the bat, or $420. So we'll figure it out.
That's
no, I didn't get it squared. So that's a dog, I'm assuming.
Goose put his collar on.
Just wandered down here, shaking.
Yeah, no.
All right, boys.
You guys have a great night. We appreciate anybody who stuck through the mess for the Cheat-Peat.
Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Is Josh Allen going to play in the Pro-Am, or is he going to the Pro Bowl?
Pro-Am.
Yeah.
Pro-Am.
I go to the Pro-Am.
Pro-Am. That boy, Josh. We love you, buddy.
Love you, Josh. All right. Later, guys.
See ya.